So we have been talking about the approaches to study the effects of devaluation on the trade balance of the devaluing country. We have already learned the elasticity approach, which is a microeconomic approach to study the effects of devaluation on the trade balance. Here we have the absorption approach, which is a macroeconomic approach to study the effects of devaluation. Welcome to the second part of the video on the absorption approach. So briefly, as per the absorption approach, whenever the devaluation is adopted, the trade balance, how does the trade balance of the country is affected depends on various factors. So whenever the domestic expenditure is greater than national income, or whenever the domestic expenditure represented by A is greater than Y, that means domestic expenditure is greater than national income, the trade balance could worsen even after devaluation. At the same time, whenever the domestic expenditure falls short of income or national income is greater than the domestic expenditure, the trade balance could improve after devaluation as expected, as in a desirable way. At the same time, whenever both are equal, or when Y is equal to A, or when national income is equal to domestic expenditure, the trade balance of the devaluing country remains unaffected. So this is the core of the last day's presentation on the absorption approach, first part. We too have discussed the situation of the trade deficit, which is the context in which the devaluation is adopted. Here in our example given in the last video, minus 20 is the trade balance, trade deficit, that could be 20 million US dollar. Suppose 20 million US dollar is the trade deficit of a country, so that is equal to the Y minus A. So whenever Y minus A is equal to minus 20, trade balance is also minus 20. Y minus A refers to income minus domestic expenditure. So when domestic expenditure exceeds national income by 20 million US dollar, then minus 20 is the Y minus A, and trade deficit is also equal to minus 20. That means the excess of national income, excess of domestic expenditure over national income turns out to be the trade deficit. So it is in this condition, it is in this context, devaluation is adopted by the government or monetary authority to exhaust the trade deficit by making the export competitive, by reducing the price of export and increasing the price of import. So devaluation is adopted in this condition. Export will surely or normally rises, and whenever export is rising, income will also have a tendency to rise, and when income has a tendency to rise, import will reversely increase. But the value of increase in import depends on marginal propensity to import. Even though import is a function of income, the level with which import is rising depends on the marginal propensity to import. Its value lies in between 0 and 1, and whenever the value is increasing, the tendency for import to rise due to increase in national income will also increase. Whenever the value of marginal propensity to import is low, the level with which import rises is also low. And other two indicators are consumption and investment. Consumption and investment will also rise whenever income is rising and import is rising, and its value also depends on the the level with which consumption and investment increases depends on marginal propensity to consume and marginal propensity to invest respectively. So unlike the elasticity approach, absorption approach states that The success of devaluation depends on the absorption or domestic expenditure according to the absorption approach. And the level of absorption, level of domestic expenditure depends on three values, namely marginal propensity to absorb, marginal propensity to consume, and marginal propensity to invest. And marginal propensity to absorb represented by E, marginal propensity to consume represented by B, and marginal propensity to invest represented by G. So to speak briefly, devaluation could increase the export, and subsequently the income will increase due to increase in export. So that change in income could trigger the change in import, as import is a function of income. But it's the level with which import rises when income is rising depends on marginal propensity to import. Whenever the value of marginal propensity to import is rising, the chance for import to respond sensitively to the income will also increase. And whenever the value of M is low, the change in import is also low. In other words, higher the value of M, devaluation ends in bad result. Lower the value of M, devaluation ends in better result or good result. So other two values are marginal propensity to consume and marginal propensity to invest. So how does devaluation respond to marginal propensity to consume and marginal propensity to invest? So as you know, devaluation is adopted to increase the export. So export is supposed to increase due to the after effect of devaluation. So whenever export is rising, income will have a tendency to rise. So this had not been considered by the elasticity approach. Unlike that, absorption approach takes that into consideration, great consideration. And export rises, income will have a tendency to rise as export is rising. So income is rising, consumption is surely going to rise, but it depends on marginal propensity to consume represented by B. So whenever the value of B is greater, the devaluation would bring undesirable result, as consumption will rise tremendously when value of B is greater, and the reverse will happen when the value of B is too low. That means devaluation could bring better and better result when the marginal propensity to consume is lower. Otherwise it could end in bad result due to devaluation. Another second one is marginal propensity to invest. So it is the factor for which the change in investment is affected. That means it depends on marginal propensity to invest, or G. And whenever the value of G is greater, the devaluation would bring undesirable result, and vice versa. Lower the value, better will be the result in both cases of consumption and investment, domestic investment. So just elasticity and export change in export price and change in import price could not explain why or how does the devaluation impact the trade balance of the devaluing country, which is visualized by the elasticity approach. But this is not the case as per the absorption approach. Absorption approach takes into account the possibility for change in income due to change in export, and change in consumption due to change in income, change in investment due to change in consumption. So all these possibilities have been considered by the absorption approach, but all these are not considered by the elasticity approach. So we will discuss the general rule for which the devaluation how does the devaluation affect the trade balance of the devaluing country as per the absorption approach in the coming video. Thank you.